Hello, my name is Tabriz Khan. Today I am going to discuss about the LeanNet CNN architecture. So I am going to share my screen. If you see here, so first today we will going to discuss about the LeanNet. It is a one type of a CNN architecture. Okay, convolutional neural network architecture. So basically, if you see, this is a research. It is done by the research by the three authors are there. Just open the research paper. So if you see, this is our research paper, gradient based learning applied to document recognition. So they are these three authors, Jan, Leon, and Yosun, and Patrick. These three people, they first time in 1998, in November 1998, they just they made the convolutional neural architecture, and which is applicable for the document recognition. They are taken the standard data set, and they validate their application. So this is the first time they just made this type of a object recognition, or you can say this is a CNN architecture. And what they did, basically, if you come to here, okay, yeah, these three people. If you see this Jan, he's working in a Tesla company, and this people is also engineer. He's working in a Google. Geoffrey Hilton, and Yosuka is a professor here. And they basically on 1998, they first time they awarded with the Alain Turing. This is a best award in the computer science. First time they get the award for that one. And basically in LeanNet, what is happening in LeanNet architecture? So if you see, this is an image. This image is basically I'm taking from the paper. If you see this paper, okay. So this is the architecture. They made that one. If you go here, yeah, this architecture. So I'm going to discuss about this architecture. So let's see here. So we taken they taken first what is called as an input, that is the image. Okay, this is a image, and their size is a 32 cross 32. So their width and height is a 32 cross 32. After that, they pass to the convocational layer. Convocational is a nothing but they pass to the filter. Okay, convocational is nothing but they pass to the filter, and after that, when they did the convocational, then this part is called a convocational, and they pass the filter. Okay, so it become 28 into 28 and 6. So this is a feature map. Actually, this is a what? This is a feature map. They extract the feature from this image, this input image. So basically, if you are talking of the feature, so uh, the kernel will automatically learn in gradient based approach, and learn the automatically means they extract the features from here. So how they get this next image, this 28 cross 28, because before it is a 32 cross 32. So they got first, they have some formula to find the next when they pass to the convocational layer. So next one is a 32 minus, they pass with the 32 minus 5 plus 1. Okay, so how many? 1 2 3 4 5. So they are passing, they choosing the 5 1. So 32 minus 5 up plus 1. So this layer will get the 6 image size with a 28 cross 28. So this is a 6 28. 35 minus 5 plus 32 minus 5 plus 1. So this is a formula to find the next convocational layer. How much? What will be the size of your feature map. Same thing you can find from here, like this one, next layer. Suppose you have 28, 28, okay, 28 minus 2, because they are passing with the, what is called, first they are passing with the 5 cross 5, and now the second one they are passing with the minus 2, and divided by their padding. Basically this is a called a what is your padding is there, so that is a 2, so final plus 1, so it will become finally it will become 14. It is become a 14. So if you see, this is a calculation for that the next image. Similarly, they pass to the next one. They again they applying the subsampling. They are taking the subsampling. Subsampling is basically they are reducing the number of learnable parameters. Okay, and again then again they pass to the convocational layer. Again they taking the subsampling, and finally it is a went to the full connected layer, that is called full connection. So this is our full connection, and finally the number of class, finally they apply the soft matrix for the multiple, because they are finding the 10 output. Finally they are going to classify the 10 object, so they mention the 10 here. So they are using the soft matrix max activation function. And if you see here, and yes, so in this case, on this case where the full connection is there, send data to the fully connected means they flatten the data in a one row. Okay, means whatever the features they extracted from the by applying the convocational pooling, subsampling, then finally they converted into the one flattened layer. Okay, so this is a way they are doing that one. So if you want more detail, so this is a this is a what is called, this is a table where you can find where you can see all the details about their layers. What they did first, they taken the image, and feature map is 1, okay, and size is a 32 cross 32, and kernel size is nothing. So next they did the convocational, they apply the basically a kernel, and it is a they apply the convocational means it is like a filter. So they taken the grayscale image because it is a 1, so grayscale image, and then next they apply the kernel size of 5 cross 5, so 32 minus 5, so it will become 32 minus 5, it will become 27, and then plus 1, so it will be next image size is a 28. Okay, and they apply the strides, strides is a 1. Okay, and next and they apply the activation function is a tangent activation function. So same thing, they apply the average pooling, means sampling basically. Average pooling is like out of what is called pooling. Pooling is a max pooling is there also, and they apply the average pooling. Basically, it is like that. When you are talking the average pooling, it is like they are choosing the out of 4 value. They are make suppose here they get 10, here they get 20, here they get 1, and here they get 30. So in max pooling they are choosing the maximum one, and average they are taking the average, and finally they are taking the average one. So they apply the average pooling. Again feature map is a 6, and size is a 14 into 14, and kernel size is a 2. So next 28 minus 5 plus 1, and divided by 2, kernel size is a divided, sorry, stride is a divided by 2, so it will become 28 minus 5, sorry, 28 minus 2, 28 minus 2 plus 1, and here divided by 2, that is a stride. So it will become 26. So 13 plus 1, 14. So next one is a 14. So in this way you can calculate the image size of a next layer, and finally they got the 120 features maps are there, and their kernel size is a 5 and 5, and strides are a 1. Okay, so if you want to calculate what is called last layer, how much how much is there, so you can easily calculate with the help of a same calculation. Okay, so this is all about that things, and next I'm going to discuss like here, if you see, this is like a kernel size. Okay, and this is suppose we can also verify with the minimal data, like this is our data, so how they are going. So 3 cross 3, they are like this one. Strides means 1, so it will move 1 and it will go to the next one like this. Again strides 1, it will go like this. Again here they are taking the 3 cross 3 like this, and then again strides is 1, so it will go like this. If stats are 2, it will move 2 steps and then they will calculate the value. Okay, so this is the way they are basically stat ones means how many block it will be move itself. First of all the horizontal way, first they are going on this direction, and then vertically they are doing that one. Okay, so this is all these things, and also you can calculate the total number of parameter on this layer. So you can easily calculate the total number of parameter, how many parameters are there. And second thing, so LeanIt is a very vast model. First, basically, if you see here, they are yeah, this is a very vast model, and they apply this model over there. Now I am going to discuss more. So this is all detail about this paper. Okay, now we'll see the LeanIt one. Yes, so this is all about our architecture, and this one, like input picture is this one, an occasional layer is there. If you want to calculate the output feature map, you can easily calculate, like a 28 is the size, then 32 is the first picture, input picture is there. So 32 minus 5 plus 1, it will become 28. Okay, number of neurons, how many numbers of neurons are there? So 28 into 28 multiply with the 6, because 6 number of a kernel, 6 number of a kernel types are there. If you see here, number of neurons, if you want to calculate, if you see here on this part, yes. So first layer is here, how many number of neurons are there, you can easily calculate. 28 into 28, and feature map, how many number of features are there. So you just multiply that one, then you will get the number of neurons, how many neurons are there. Then trainable parameters, how many parameters you are taking for the next layers. So you can also calculate, like your convocational size is a 5 cross 5, so 5 cross 5 plus 1 plus strides, okay, into 6, so it will become a number of parameters are there. If you see here, all like that. Okay, so this is all these things are there. This is the tangent functions, this is the neurons, and they are passing with the convocational layers. So all these things are there. So now we'll see how we can implement this one in a code with the Python. So first we include all the libraries. Okay, first we include all the libraries. I'm just making it bigger so it will be easy for to see that one. So just we implement the this Linet architecture in a Keras. So we taken the data set as our MNIST data set. So you can see this data set is easily available. It is a what is called this is a handwritten data set. If you see, MNIST handwritten digit database is there, and they written the data in what is called. I'll show you like this one 1 2 0. This is a handwritten data set is there. Okay, so and also we implement. So first, what we did, we load the data set. Okay, and we divide the data set in a train and a test part. Okay, then finally we reshape the our data set in a grayscale image because they are using the grayscale, and test data also we convert the data into the grayscale, and then again we what we did, we normalize the data set by dividing the 255 because 0 to 255 is a pixels are there. So we divide with the 255, we normalize the data set, and then we did here, if you see, we just categorize the data set in a 10 classes, train data and test data. Now from here, if you see, we made the architecture from here. So this is a sequential, means one apply, first we will apply convocational, then pooling, then again we apply the convocational pooling. So this is a sequential model. And after that, if you see for reference, first sequential, then they apply what? Convocation. So if you see model dot add, they use the convocational here. Okay, I'll just use this one so it will be better. So if you see here, they apply the convocational here, and then this is a activation function is what? We just change it is a ReLU one, okay? And input size is this one, and kernel size is a 5 cross 5, okay? So if you see this table, 5 cross 5, okay? And you can change the input size image. Also, we can change this one, okay? ReLU activation function. So I did the same thing, activation function and kernel size. Again, we apply the max pooling. So first one is first this layer is a convocational, CON, okay. And second, we apply max pooling, and they are applying the average pooling, and pool size is a 2 cross 2, okay. And if you see here, pool size is a 2 cross 2, okay. Then again we apply the convocational, and kernel size is a 5 cross 5, activation function is a ReLU. So if you see here, again they apply the convocational, and activation function is a tangent, but we apply the ReLU, and kernel size is a 5 cross 5. So we did these things, okay. And there is the first time it is a 6, then we 16, then again we maximum model dot add max pooling. We did the max pooling, kernel size is 2, and finally what we did, if you see here, finally we flatten the fully connected layer, and dense layer is there, okay. And also finally we apply the activation function ReLU, and we have more classes, 10 classes. So we are using the soft metric max, okay. And then finally we compile the model, and we apply the what is called a categorical optimizer is a ADAMO optimizer, and matrix is accuracy. And finally we fit the model and train with our test data, and finally we get our test loss and accuracy. So if you can change your own data set and you can apply this algorithm. And then if you want to train, suppose here epoch is a 20, okay, their epoch is a 20, and it's okay, and batch size is 28, okay, and suppose, and this is a things are there, so I'll change suppose not 20, okay, we can run this one by one. So it's started now. They're training the data, they're downloading the data first. So this is all over the linear architecture of a convolutional neural network. So thank you very much.